Okay, we are now live, and hey everybody, this is the post. This is the me surviving Harvey little video that we're making, and I've just interrupted a regular old conversation between all of the three other guys that I've got on here, because we can go ahead and have the regular conversation on the air. I have here Zach Glazer of Frog God Games, Patrick Pilgrim of Frog God Games, and Skeeter Green of Frog God Games. Along with me, I'm Matt Finch. And just before we even get started, I'll just remind everybody, subscribe to the channel, and let's build up the number of subscribers. And also, Frog God Games has a YouTube channel, so go ahead and subscribe to that as well. If you're looking at my channel's page, it's going to be up here to the top right. So, all right, with that, let's go ahead and go to it. So, everybody, talk.
Hello.
Oh, what is it?
It's chaos.
The last thing we were talking about was complaining about people's interfaces through to their work and everything like that. I guess I ought to say that the storm has now blown over. So the last video, the one that Zach and I did, that ended with me having to get off because there was a tornado warning, ended up with me not actually getting hit by the tornado. All is well. The rain has receded in the street. I can drive around now. And all is good, although there's not a whole lot that's open on the streets yet.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Did your provisions of beer and Fritos make it through?
They did indeed, but I did not have the Fritos. I had tortilla chips. If I had Fritos after Guppy said the thing about how you can set Fritos on fire, if I had some Fritos, I guarantee you that they would have been experimentally and scientifically set on fire.
Of course. Excellent.
To test that out, because that's cool.
Where are we at with the Snickers count?
The Snickers are all gone. I figured that once the city told me that the storm was actually gone and the waters were receding, I figured it was safe to eat the last Snickers.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That is excellent provision management.
Yes. Yeah. And I also made sandbags just in case I was going to need sandbags, and so as a result of that, I didn't need sandbags.
Oh, you should have done that days ago.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No, I should have. What I should have done was if I'd bought an umbrella right at the beginning of the whole thing, there would have been no problem at all.
Yeah, right. No rain. No rain at all.
You got hit by some winds and stuff, didn't you, Patrick?
Not really. I mean, they were maybe 25, 30 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. I had kind of been hoping that we would have had stronger winds that might have blown a shingle or two off, so I could have a new roof. But
yeah, that's always convenient.
Yeah.
Also, your camera. I think your camera just did something funky, Patrick, because we're looking at your weird H.P. Lovecraft skull again.
My
there you are.
My cat is laying between me and my keyboard, and
everybody blames cats. Do you see what Chuck says about that?
It's always the cat. It's always the cat. Okay, he actually shows the exhibit A. Here's the cat.
Yeah, it's the cat.
Yeah, I still don't believe it.
Yeah, she's a little rascal. So, but yeah, no, and we got about 3 inches, and my very scientific attempt at measuring the rain in my dog bowls in the backyard. So, yeah, it was about 3 inches.
Usually that's a whole year.
No, go ahead.
So usually it's a whole year of rain for us, but we've been really wet this year. So even my house flooded, and I live in Central Arizona. It's crazy.
So, but you guys get flash flooding because the ground just can't absorb it quick enough. So it's just like freaking out and suddenly flood.
Yeah, and it flashed so much that I was working on the Photoshop and stood up and I walked through water in my living room. So
that's not good.
No, I wasn't. Thankfully, the room I keep all my electronics in is, because of tile, just a little bit higher.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so
excellent.
Oh, we're glad you made it through, Matt. And
yeah, no kidding. We have stuff for you to do. No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, the emails already started from Zach. We need a contract. We need a.
I was nice enough to send it while I knew you weren't busy hanging around making sandbags. Yeah. I was cool.
That's just because you didn't want me to respond on Facebook about how much work I was doing, and then have to do stuff where you were cleaning up around the house.
You already got me in trouble. You just go do it again. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just didn't know who was going to be able to pick up your work if something happened.
Yeah.
I know who. Oh no.
Wait.
Yeah, right.
Bill,
No, Patrick.
Bill,
Patrick.
Bill.
Everyone but you knows Patrick.
Yes,
Yeah.
back in his leadership.
That's right.
Don't
Leadership.
step in the leadership.
Yeah,
That's right.
because it rolls downhill.
It
Yeah.
does. Isn't that amazing?
No, but no, we're glad it was okay in your area, and that floodwaters didn't make it into the Finch household. So
Yeah, you can see in the background. Oh, actually, I guess you can't but I've got like, wires that are taken up off the ground, and there's the big stack of books that used to be on one of the bottom shelves.
I do see the
bottom
books because we can see. Death and Taxes was apparently on the bottom
Yeah,
shelf.
I know.
there.
That's just what I said.
I know I'm
Of
guilty.
course it was.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It'll be worth a lot someday. I saw Whisper Venom sold for a bunch in auction. So hey, man.
Well, thing is, this is like the prime real estate bookshelf anywhere in the house, because we got a lot more. So just making it onto even the bottom shelf of that bookcase.
Well, I'm almost mollified.
Okay. Almost mollified is fine. That'll do.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That'll do. Pig.
That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
Oh man. So, Skeeter, what time do you usually actually walk in your door?
That is a variable sum.
Because it just, when Matt's like, he'll be on at 2:30, I'm like, wow, I think he gets home at 2:30. I was like,
No, actually, when I can leave work, there's a shift change at 1:30 and 2 at the factory. So if I can leave the parking lot at 1:45, I miss all the traffic, and it takes me literally 20 minutes to get home.
that's
That
awesome.
is-
So
If
you don't
I
have
am
to.
caught-
You don't have to cross ferries and shit like Bill.
No, I live in civilization. I don't live in the fields of the great
The fields of Poulsbo.
murder fields of Ballsbow.
Oh, Paulsbo. Okay,
Bill's
that's how you
ferry
say it.
schedule dictates my life. So
Yeah.
That's when you get the calls.
I almost always make me or
it
Matt.
dictated our game last night too. I was
Yeah,
in his actual physical tabletop game, and we called it at a certain time because we were playing at a new place. And he's like, "Yeah, I got 45 minutes to get to the ferry. I have
missed
no
it.
idea how long it takes."
He missed it.
Oh,
You
did
missed
he?
it.
Yeah. He missed it by like 30 seconds. He called me. He was
what
like,
a
he was
bummer!
like, just
'cause
pull.
I always do, trying to leave his house.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So yeah, but Bill's ferry schedule affects not just him. So
Yeah. No, it takes me about 6 hours of travel time to spend, 10 hours at his house. And then he gets mad because I don't stay over. And it's like, I'm already trapped here. I don't want to sleep in a couch in our warehouse.
Right.
Well, you have a warehouse. I slept on the couch in the living room when I was there. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that is a choice.
I got shot by paintballs by you too. That was one heck of a vacation. Like right in the ass by you.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to miss, but still.
So you got to see me in action with almost a machine gun. How was that?
It was about as nerve-wracking as you think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's,
Because you actually get a different look on your face when you're firing a weapon at somebody, and yours didn't change. Most people have like something. Yours is the same kind of like stoic, like yeah, I hate these people kind of look.
Yeah, this is exactly how I thought this would feel.
I thought the post office would be a good job. I was right, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Yes, it
I
is,
am
but-
outraged.
No, you're not.
we can tell.
Yeah.
It's your regular outrage is your regular switch, dude. Sorry.
I'm not going to dispute that.
Nope, you shouldn't.
Oh.
Oh
So,
man.
besides Matt's flooding, what else is happening in the world?
We're having a sale to try to help people from Matt's flooding.
Yes.
Mike Battalotto recommended we
are.
do it, and Eric Tenkar. So I worked on that this morning and last night. So that's
Yeah,
up.
I saw that go up. Yeah.
And so it was easy because I just said yes, but I couldn't put up until Bill said yes, because I knew he would for PDF, so I would say yes. And I'm really happy to do it. Mike found the charity and everything, so
That's
Yeah.
good.
been helping a lot of people, like undocumented people, undocumented immigrants who don't have access to some of the bigger city stuff or don't want one right nowadays,
Mhm.
don't want to do government. So they have been going to those districts in Houston to make sure they're doing well too.
Good.
And Mike Battalotto has suggested that was one that was but kind of perfect because they also 98% of their money goes back. So,
Yeah.
so we're doing one good. It's everything after royalties and like whatever Bill said the expenses. There's a lot of names we sell. So if you're listening, pick some up. So not to be a salesman on the channel, but
Yeah, see, Zach, you
relevant.
forgot which channel you're on. This is my
I know.
channel, not the Frog God channel.
Well, I can't help myself. I am what I am.
It's allowed. It's allowed.
Well, and
So,
I mean,
so we'll go ahead and mention that we're also in the middle of the Quest of Doom 4
yes.
Kickstarter while we're at it, which I know Patrick is working gangbusters.
You should ask the PM, man. Ask the PM about that.
Yeah, how's that going, Patrick?
Actually, it's been going pretty good. We're getting close to the next freebie goal, which is 24,000, and after that, we've got a stretch goal at 26,000. But yeah, no, it's been going well. We've had a good response to it, especially with the change to the format for these.
Yeah, that was like hugely controversial with everybody that we weren't doing it as a
hardcover. Yeah, but if we had done it as a hardcover, we wouldn't have been able to offer 16 different adventures. It would have been 6, and then stretch goals probably would have ended up with about 8 to 10 adventures.
Yeah, it was basically it's basically twice as big as what it would be 2 books instead of 1.
Right,
Yeah.
and the only way we could really offer this was by doing the soft cover books, because, I mean, with the amount of and Bill explained it in the comments, but with the minimum number of hardcovers that we would have to order per imprint, there was just no way to make that reasonable for the customers. So,
and I think that adding, we're starting to gain some real traction with 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's
we are.
As I understand it. I think Bill has not called me, and like he's called me like once, and it was just a "How are you doing?" calls. I think he didn't want to bug me if I was busy drowning or something. So.
That's 100% true.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's busy drowning part. He also wondered if you're busy floating or all kinds of things.
Right.
But no.
Yes, or making sandbags.
Yeah.
Sandbags.
The cool thing also with this one, that's the first time we've offered color maps that are virtual tabletop ready as stretch goals. I mean, it's the first time we've done virtual tabletop maps.
And Alyssa's making those ones, right?
Yep. Alyssa is
cool.
They're real. We're doing another map Kickstarter real soon. You're going to hear a whole lot about, but man,
I don't know what you're talking about, Zach.
Oh no, nobody knows about this. This is news to all of us. What
but honestly, these maps are nice for the first try because they don't need 5 layers and the file sizes aren't going to be near as big. So they'd be a nice one to dip our toe in with for the distribution of it. But at this point, I think I understand digital maps far better than I ever expected to in my entire life. So,
yeah, I started learning about virtual tabletops. I'm going to have to try and learn to use one of those. But because on the Discord channel, there were a bunch of guys from D20 Pro as opposed to Fantasy Grounds that were also talking about the Rapid Athletic maps.
And that was one of the things we needed to see about. And I was thinking about picking up a copy of D20 Pro was to see how our maps would work with them. So
I encourage that. That's kind of thinking I like.
Yeah.
Well, they did have some of our Rapid Athletic maps on there in the past, but it looks pretty cool. What you can do with these things. I haven't looked at the Fantasy Grounds thing. D20 Pro gave me a free sign-in thing, which I haven't used yet, but I'll probably get one from Fantasy Grounds too and go in and see if they work.
You already have one from Fantasy Grounds, just got to email me.
Do I? Okay. Because there's like an interface behind it where you can like mark little bits of the map as being like, this is a secret door or something like that.
Fog of War type stuff. Yeah.
And you can do the same with Roll20. So out of all of them, and this is with no experience at all with D20 Pro, so I can't speak to that. But between Fantasy Grounds and Roll20, you get some more powerful features, at least for being able to mask layers. And so if you wanted to obscure secret doors or do dynamic lighting so that as your guys are crawling down the tunnel, they can only see what they can see based on what they're vision or their torch light reveals.
Mhm.
They're working on that for Fantasy Grounds Unity, which is going to be their next major architectural shift.
Wow.
Yeah,
And they were cagey about when I asked them.
yeah. So they've
bet.
started
what?
working on some of it.
Their new version of Fantasy Grounds they're building in Unity, which is the software development platform.
Uh-huh.
And so it's going to have a bunch of new features that are interesting and exciting. But when I asked them, like, well, so when? Because maybe we could have our stuff ready. And they wouldn't say. He was very
Right.
I was
Well, that
trying
makes-
to. I was being sneaky. I knew he shouldn't say.
Well, see, because the rule, and this is like Chuck's rule to Bill, is never make precise promises about when you think it's going to be, because you are not working with all of the data that should come
Exactly.
from there. So it's particularly fun whenever Bill estimates a page count to watch Chuck.
Oh
get
my
pissed.
God.
no, man. I don't know what's worse, like having me estimate the page count so we have to guess, or watching Chuck happen, because I am his neighbor.
Chuck goes apoplectic.
Yeah.
Reasonably.
But the automation within Fantasy Grounds is really, really nice. So it makes playing Pathfinder actually very easy. So it takes all the math out of it for you.
I don't believe you.
Kind of stuff. Yeah. It takes a lot of having to track the crunch out of it and does it for you.
Yeah, when we originally put Rappahatnock in the rule, which one is it?
Hero Lab?
No.
I'm sorry.
D20 Pro.
Yeah, so I think the genesis of that was things went into Hero Lab. They got exported from Hero Lab into D20 Pro, and everything was essentially there. So all you had to do was click on your icon and all your information is there.
Mm-hmm.
So you move around, you can fight, you can click the buttons, and it does everything for you. So it actually worked out pretty smooth.
I was
Back
real
in the
suspicious before I played my first VTT game. I was like, I won't like this. Like, why do I want to do this? The whole point is to go to a table, yada yada. But when I've played within 2 sessions, I think there are a lot of ways, and it's superior to playing at a table, just because all this stuff is in front of you, and the visualization, you don't have to re-explain things to anybody, because sometimes we play with people who aren't that smart. Right? No, I'm kidding. No, but it's all there for you. And some of the
I didn't dispute that at all.
No, I was talking about Patrick.
I know. Thanks, Zach.
You're welcome. No, but things like figure out range.
Dispute.
No,
it's not your birthday anymore, Patrick.
Thanks, Skeeter.
right. You've been here long enough now, Patrick, that you can get the real treatment.
Right.
Yeah. This is how I am with people.
Yeah.
Let the
This
abuse
is
begin.
him with a camera on him. What do you mean when there's no camera?
Yeah, when there's no video proof.
No, but I did find that the VTTs, they make the experience different and interesting in a way that makes the game a little more engrossing to me.
Mhm.
It's not socially cool, but the game part itself, the focus on the actual adventure and the thinking behind where do you go and what do you do is a lot more intense, I think. And the people who usually play VTTs don't include the brother-in-law who drag along, or the guy who's only there because it has to be.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
you have the player base is serious. So I mean, I like them. I think they do our hobby a huge service.
So are you playing in the game that with Patrick that's also got Michael Potter in it, or is that a different one?
No. So Skeeter, Zach, Chuck, myself,
Edwin,
and Edwin's running it, and Liz Stewart's in it.
Liz Stewart and Ben Barsh.
Yep.
We're playing on the Frog God. We're playing on the Frog God Twitch channel that we simulcast sometimes. So.
And I was playing in Michael Potter's game for a while on Wednesdays, but since he's Pacific time and I'm Central time, it was just running too late for me because I like to get to work super early so I can leave early. So it just
That's what I do.
yeah.
Yeah, except that I don't bother you late at night to keep you doing stuff. I keep doing it to Patrick.
Eh.
Like, where are those
usually-
Maldi cars, Patrick? I know.
They got sent off to. They got sent to you yesterday, so we have finished up the
took
Blight
care of it,
Malady.
Oh, and you haven't checked your emails, Zach, to know.
No,
that
I
they
did.
were
I
sent
actually
to you
those are already gone to the layout person. That
Okay.
was Zach did his job because I've been bothering Patrick so much. I almost put it off to the day, and I felt bad. I actually had a moment of like, oh, I can't do that to him.
Sure you can.
And
What's
that
the matter
passed-
with you, Zach?
Nah,
that passed really quickly.
it was
Huh?
human. Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
Have you
Yeah.
been replaced by a pod person?
No, I have other stuff for you to do. That's why.
Okay. You want me to finish Quests of Doom so I can finish Rappanathic so I can finish Tome of Horror, and then
Oh, wow, you're almost there. Your kid, your list is you're almost got it all.
You're getting there.
yeah, and I still owe Matt an adventure. So
Also, I have some cool ideas for the Ancient Kingdoms thing that
Cool.
where it's stuff that would be used in 5th edition, but probably isn't going to surface. It would certainly. Yeah, damn it. That's my phone, which I don't have turned off.
It's Bill.
Well, that's just going to ring. Anyway. Oh no, Tom got it in the room, and I don't remember what the hell I was saying. But
Ancient Kingdoms ideas.
Stuff.
oh yeah, a couple of things that will definitely be in the 5th edition version, possibly in the Pathfinder one. But the regions developing enough that there's one or two things that would go into the 5th edition character player resource book, the one that's got the crunch in it. So like and like a I think it's
backgrounds
a
or
warlock. Oh yeah, no, we've got a couple of different warlock pacts.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That
nice.
would work out well. So I need to
Excellent.
throw those over to you. Yeah.
Excellent.
And by the time we get to those, Skeeter will be a professional at playing his warlock.
Well, as long as my patron Lamptopus guides me correctly.
She said she would.
How does it not surprise me that Skeeter decided to play a warlock?
With a pure force. And he killed us all.
I didn't kill us all. There was no defined outcome to the end of that session.
Yes, there was.
We knew how it was going to turn out.
I think we all kind of just accepted our fate.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or
so-
you accepted the fate I put on everyone.
That's right. Like, hey, well, this is a bad idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
This is sounding an awful lot like one of the play tests I did on one of my adventures where the characters ended up with the classic fireball on my location solution to things. But
Zach has a little bit of experience with that when we played at the
Gygax's house.
Gary Gygax charity event at GaryCon.
Yeah.
We went out in the most old school way you possibly could, playing one of Rob Kuntz's crazy adventures that was run by Paul
Stormberg.
That's right. It was, yeah.
And to be clear, you went out that way. Somebody survived.
Hey, man,
Somebody was the only survivor.
I put my faith in you, and I was sorry. No,
You
it
will
actually was
never
perfect.
do that
I
again.
wouldn't, dude. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I don't care how many characters died. It was awesome.
Yeah. So I actually found my little 3x5 card where I rolled up the cleric I was gonna play
Mm-hmm.
in there before Paul handed out all the stuff, and I was just getting ready to throw the card away, and I was like, this is the only character I've ever actually rolled up in Gary's house. I'm keeping this forever.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
mad.
move. Yeah, it was that was a fun experience. Because Skeeter sent me a message. He's like, "You want to play D&D in Gary Gygax's house on Saturday night? It costs like I don't even care what it costs." Is basically what my mind went to. So
Right.
like, I don't care what it is. Like, yes. Don't ever ask me anything again that is like
Well,
that. You just say yes.
Jen and I were just talking about that, and she goes, "Well, didn't you pay for Zach to go with you?" And I was like, "Hell no,
No.
I'm not paying for him to go.
No.
That's on him."
And I had no problem with it. I was kind of like, yeah, of course. You can speak for me. Don't worry.
No, it was
Put on my tab.
it was very much an old school experience playing that adventure.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it politely. Rob
why
Kuntz
was
finest.
why was
mean-
it an adventure?
Are we letting the genie out of the bottle? Am I going to start talking shit about people?
Yeah, probably.
That adventure was terrible. Terrible.
I think I have it here.
It was a flooded valley with some buildings, and you just
Hold on.
it was a complete. It was Bill's sandbox, except it was a swimming pool. There was no direction. You could just go everywhere.
Some people do like that style of gaming, though, Skeeter.
It was fine, except for the fact we had 2 hours to do something. That was all the time we were going to have.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
everybody
For a convention game, yeah.
Right. No, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is probably fine. But I mean, we had no idea really why we were there. We knew we were looking for something, and it was just too open-ended for that small period of time. And we kind of found something, and then there was a room full of ghosts, and I decided, you know what? They're dead.
There it is, man. El Raja Key. We got the DVD.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, that's what you were doing. Okay.
It was one of the adventures in there. So.
Yeah, it was. We got there. It is. We got the printout of it. Trade dress we'd recognize because we. All right, there we go. But small. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very old in terms of the kind of adventure it was. There was a lot of floating around on a boat.
Yeah, it just in that time period of a convention game, it didn't.
Yeah,
it's hard to it's hard to select stuff to do for conventions because they're even shorter. You cover even less ground than you think in those things. I mean, I remember Dawn was going to run Rogues and Rembalo at North Texas.
Oh,
and,
wow.
It was like, Rogues and Rembalo looks like it's a short adventure, but since it's got like investigation and talking to people in a city,
that's a time sink.
It's a big time sink, and plus it's also the big problem for a convention game there is that you've always got to handle the fact that you're going to have some people, that are very extroverted and they're take charge and stuff like that, and then you've got the people that are sitting there that are not likely to speak up unless they're sort of
like
pushed
Skeeter.
to do it. And when you're doing conversations with people, you tend to forget the people that are quieter, whereas when you're doing more regular adventuring, it's easier to bring those people out.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, Frank Menser has a whole talk about how to include people at convention games. It's really, really good. I hate giving that guy credit because he's just
what
so
has he done, man?
terrible.
Oh,
yeah.
Red
What has he
Mason
ever
said-
done for anybody?
No, what a fraud, dude.
Okay, and here's where the actual asterisk is that I love Frank and he knows it, and I will never miss an opportunity to give him shit, as I did at Gen Con 50 when I finally found him.
Oh, hey, I think we've got... Okay, no, this is just us with the chat over here. There's nobody who's...
Yeah, you have to look at the webpage.
Did I remember to actually... Oh, you know what? I never posted the thing about where to find us on this thing, so...
Well,
it's okay. No one really wanted to listen to us anyway. No.
Well, you're recording it, aren't you?
I am recording it, yeah.
No,
So
it should have automatically gone to subscribers. So
okay.
Cool.
All right,
but Frank does a whole
last time he gave me
thing
a link
that he talks about how to encourage the less extroverted people, which is sometimes 3/4 of the table.
Oh yeah.
It only takes one. It's better even in big tables. I played a Bunnies and Burrows game where there was three or four people who never said a word, and they could have had a lot they could have added, but it was with 22 people, that was a little rough, right?
Yeah,
but
it can be.
Yeah, but
we've had really good luck with the 3D Rappahathic. Everybody that's been in it, it's usually anywhere from 6 to 10 people. Well, in the 2 rounds I was able to run before I almost died. Yay. It went over great. It was wonderful. When Tenkar and Rachel were playing, they had a blast, and Rachel doesn't ever talk. I mean, she's the quietest, sweetest lady.
Unless you hit her in the face with a bar stool, which
what?
Wow.
You hit Rachel in the face with a bar stool?
dude. Tank car's a cop. He's armed, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have to ask Edwin about our Swords and Wizardry
Okay.
late night game there.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be a story. But
We were all
she got so excited. She was like, because there's a certain part where a certain boss creature was killing everybody, and they decided to flee. And I was having none of it. So this thing was chasing them, and I was catching up to everybody and killing them by like biting them in the back. And she got super excited, and a whole hullabaloo went on, but everybody was invested in it. It was really cool.
You know what chases running away from monsters in convention games, because that's one of the best ones I ever did too, was when they decided that they needed to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Because they had like this great big wheel of gold, and the dragon was chasing them, and so they're rolling their wheel of gold toward.
We're not letting go of the treasure.
That's right. There was no way they were lit. And so we're, it's one of these things we're checking
Nothing
movement
bad
rates
can
and everything. And what was really funny too was that it's in Mithras Tower, where there's the elevator room, that goes up. And so only 9 people fit in the elevator. And so they were going to have to leave some people behind. They were going to have to get their wheel of gold into the elevator with a couple of people and get it up, and then leave the wheel of gold, and send the elevator.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Throw me the idol. I will throw you the whip. Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's funny.
I know.
Every time I'm talking about any kind of adventure design or anything, Jen always brings up the first section of Raiders.
Really?
And I have wanted to duplicate that in an adventure, just a little somewhere in Rappahannock, there's this hallway, and just have people go, this seems oddly familiar.
Well, so funny you mentioned that, Skeeter. I had mentioned to Zach at some point that we could probably easily convince you that we wanted to do a mashup of Raiders, and
I think I said yes because you said it.
Yes, and there was
right now
else.
the only thing going through my head is I love this idea.
And there was one other thing, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been Evil Dead, but I think
no, it's Deadpool, dude. Had to be Deadpool.
I don't think it was Deadpool.
If you lie to him, he'll believe you, dude.
Everything is
we
about
could easily,
Deadpool.
yeah, it could easily have Deadpool in it, but just to make a to put together something, just kind of a one-off, just completely lunatic.
I like this idea. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so
You're
I hope you enjoy managing that project.
Yeah. Leadership, man. It doesn't just come from one direction. Good job, Patrick.
yeah.
All right, guys.
How about Q1?
I think we are probably hitting about the end point
Sure.
on the video itself, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. So for everyone who's watching, hope you had a good time listening to us just talk about pretty much nothing, and take your game and imagine the hell out of it.